I'll move on to kind of Tarini, talk about India in the context, but also what kind of touches you in that particular kind of like place. I mean, the foundation, JSW, does a lot of other initiatives beyond just the arts. It's health, it's sanitation, it's education. Could you talk a little bit about those initiatives, and then could you bring them together in an arts project? Probably the public toilet is actually the most kind of interesting one in this.
Sure. So, we're a very large country with it, and we have a huge responsibility. And so our foundation does a lot of things from sports to healthcare, sanitation, education. And I try and fit in art where I can. So my brothers just started an institute for training Olympic athletes. And I went in and got the Street Art Foundation involved, and we painted all the walls. We got the community involved. We got the athletes involved. And we really sort of made it a happy space, because I think art is also really happy. It cheers up a space, color, form, function, it all comes together. With the toilet, again, like Lucian was saying, architecture and art, in my mind, are very similar. So we had the opportunity, the public toilet on Marine Drive, which is our main promenade in Bombay. And it's the largest Art Deco promenade in the world after Miami. And we went in and we built this toilet, which has been showing on the screen, in corten steel. And it actually looks like a sculpture. And people now come and take selfies there. And so, it's very interesting how to marry the two.
Tarini, could you tell us a little about kind of patronage in India? You're part of the FICA Patrons, which is the Foundation for Indian Contemporary Art. And it's at the moment, the only contemporary art patron group in the whole of India. Could you talk about being part of that group and kind of what it's trying to do to engender kind of the next generation of patrons?
So I think a lot's going on in India. There's Kochi, there's the Sculpture Park, and contrary to the Middle East and China, I think Indians, we love Indian art, and we actually patron Indian art. I don't really buy international art. I buy primarily Indian art. And I think the galleries are doing a fabulous job with the way they educate, they talk, we do studio visits. It's very accessible. They're very, very helpful to the young collectors. They educate. There are gallery weekends. Every Thursday is like a gallery night where it's open till late. And, and they're very sharing. And I think that's why the patronage is only growing in India. FICA's done amazing work. We do trips together. Their talks, their lectures, and it's about education, like Alia said,
But also the support is going towards actually enabling scholarships for artists, residencies, a whole range of other things that you're also witnessing at the same time.
An Emerging Artist Award.
Yeah.
And now there's a Video Art Award. This is the first time at the fair we supported the performance space. So it's, but I feel like we still need a lot of international support. A lot of people don't come internationally to the India Art Fair or to India in general. I think we're a little bit behind in terms of that. But otherwise, within India, I think patronage is growing, and we're really all proud of it.
I just wanted to ask, because I noticed that all of you are very concerned about your community, which I think is really incredible, and it's a personal passion and it's a personal connection that really brought you to, in your different ways, do what you were doing. And I know this is kind of a blanket question, but pretty much I just wanted to ask, what advice do you have for other people looking into their communities? What can they do? And what are maybe some of the anecdotal hiccups or, things that you kind of wish you had known when you had first started the journey in terms of, any advice that you would give?
Great question. Let's give it to Tarini first.
So I actually believe it's a journey, and there will be hiccups, but the more you engage, if you have a group of people that you're working with, I actually approached the government to build the toilet. I went to them and I said, I want to do something, and they were very responsive. I think it's also about stepping up and stop complaining and being the change and talking about it enough that people see you and hear you. We really pushed the India agenda for Venice. This is the first time the government's actually taken a space at the Venice Biennale. And, we pushed it, and it just got finalized 2 weeks ago. And everyone was like, you guys are crazy. How are you going to get a pavilion at Venice to happen? And, we're making it happen. So, yes, we can sit here and complain, but I think the more you involve yourself and engage, I think the more you create change.